Mojo Mathers.
I'd like to take a call on the Human Rights Amendment Bill. The Green Party is now supporting the bill. We are supporting it because one of our major concerns has finally been addressed. And we note the role that the Maori Party played in improving this bill, and we thank them for that. And it's worth referring again to some background as to how this bill came about, which my colleague Marama has just alluded to earlier. 6 years ago, the government agreed to establish the position of a Disability Commissioner when my colleague, Catherine Delahunty, had her members' bill pulled from the ballot. Catherine's bill provided for the creation of a designated Disability Commissioner to sit alongside the current specialist designations of the Equal Employment Opportunities and the Race Relations Commissioners. And she was motivated to develop that bill because the position of a Disability Commissioner was long overdue. For far too long, the needs and rights of disabled people have languished way behind that of others. Disabled people face systematic and structural discrimination that affects every area of our lives. We should be able to do simple things like access buildings and cafes and shops. We should be able to access the news. We should be able to get jobs that match our skills. We should be able to find a place to live that has an accessible toilet. Above all, we should be able to be safe. We should have the right to fundamental things such as freedom from abuse and torture. These are the kind of things that disabled people have a right to, but are so often denied. It shouldn't be so hard for us to get jobs, own our own home. It shouldn't be so hard to find an accessible place to rent, but it is. Every day we see stories in the media of exclusion and discrimination. Right now, we have the plight of Ashley Peacock, an autistic man who had been kept in seclusion for years. It's just one example. And behind Ashley, there are many more disabled people denied justice. Yesterday, the Human Rights Commission announced a review into the use of seclusion and restraint in New Zealand. We will be watching the outcome of that review and the government respond closely. Ashley's plight highlights just one of the many, many reasons why we need to entrench a designated Disability Human Rights Commissioner. And I want to expand now on why we voted against the bill at the first reading. We voted against it because it did not create, at that time, a designated Disability Commissioner to stand alongside the existing specialist designation in the way that Catherine's bill did. The original bill actually removed the specialist designation of equal opportunity and race relations commissioners from the Act, and instead added them to the list of functions of the Commission. We could not support that move because titles matter. Having specific designation, statutory designation for commissioners matters. And we heard from many groups at Select Committee about why it matters for the groups that are represented. The specific designation creates visibility and clarity for these positions. They affirm the importance of addressing the discrimination that these communities face. And that is why we, the Green Party, are pleased that the specific designations have now been reinstated. But regardless, the bill could have been so much better. In particular, we are disappointed that the bill failed to mention the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities specifically and upfront. The function and role of the Disability Commissioner should reference explicitly the Convention. And there should also be even more specific requirements for the Disability Commissioner, such as making it explicit that the Disability Commissioner is to actively engage with different disability communities and has a mandate to act as an advocate on their behalf. In our view, the bill only does the minimum that's needed.
Well, I regret that I have to interrupt the member, but her time has expired. Lewis